Unwashed. No. The whole last one was about purchasing my first game. No? Am I repeating myself? But, so by search nothing on this game. 24
I
hours.
gotta ask.
24 hours. Yeah.
What's the most important thing in life?
On 10 in August. 11.
The Eddies, the wins,
And to be gone. People right
to be a
there.
Night City legend.
These two. RPG. Yeah, get follow tours for around it. Bioshock. 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 Nope. Time to hide. Robocop. 6. Fallout 76. Starfield. Yeah, man, I'm going to buy this thing. Get up. Let's go. My card. Purchase. Continue payment. My phone. What? And you're just bragging. You're just thinking. Just buy it. It was my dream game, man. I did cheat a little bit. It's supposed to be my first payment and first purchase game for my own money, but I did not purchase it. It was not my first game because my grandmother from Bombay gave me money. I purchased the NFS6 for 174. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not showing my payment methods, okay? Gjorde så pass en hajka. Okay. Eating breakfast at what, 9 p.m. I need more food, man. What is this thing? Am I go? Am I woman? I'm on not diet, man. Oh shit. Need to buy a new chair. for now. Hello, man. Sleeping. Yes. Uh, uh, all my money to well. Boom. It's done. Uh, a library. Boom. There's the game. There's the game. Let's go. 84 gigs. Let me just show display. Let's go. Purchase this finally. Right. You can hear crack. Wait, what did I purchase, right? I did not purchase fucking soundtrack and shit, right? No, right? What is the whoa, okay, okay. But I did not purchase I hope I know the soundtrack I need the new Rebel
I gotta
City.
ask, what's the most important thing in life?
Bonus content soundtracks. A new DLC for Cyberpunk has been added to your account will be installed along with the game. Okay. Where's my terrible pot? What do I play it? We'll get copyrighted. Let's not do that. What do I cut it? There are 21 hidden achievements. Damn. That's good. मला मराठी चित्रपटामध्ये काम करायला खूप आवडेल. डॅनी पंडितची खूप. Oh my god. Dream go lie, bro. Bonnie Blue. Dream go lie. On guard, man. On guard for real. On guard, no cap. Mm. yeah, so that's about it. I think we'll play this game in future. I need to buy controller. The school is on, man. Get up. Plus, I will ask my friend to give his controller to me. Ciao, get up. title. 8 years. 2018. Okay, bro was there. On dream games where I will also, man, 400 for 3 GB game. I mean, yeah. What I'm thinking, man, just purchase the game. Yeah, I'm doing it. Add to cart. So it will always get updated, right? The work continues. Machines, moon. April 2026. It's a human. Where was the last update? The fraud update. Oh, more that. Load the thing. I don't know. It was 1800 whisper. It was. Then it became 1100. Then it became 1000. 700. 1k. 700. 1k. Cowbell and Cowbell and Ultra Cube. Hello. Dusk. Dusk. All bundles that contain Ultra Cube. No music. No music. No, it's copyrighted.
All right, everyone. Today we are playing Titanfall 1 in 2026, 12 years later.
Okay.
It's crazy it's been that long, but it has been. But the game is still alive after all these years. Now, there are a few things you need to know if you want to play this game in 2026. As a lot of you may know, a few years ago, the game was delisted from all digital storefronts, and if you had EA Play, because this game was originally part of EA Play and Game Pass Ultimate, it was also removed from that service.
Yeah, that's what's fun.
So the only way that I was able to keep playing was to buy a physical copy on Xbox One, which typically goes for like less than $10. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. But it's just crazy that they delisted the entire game for pretty much no reason. They said because of the hackers and cheaters, but those hackers and cheaters were on PC. So delist the PC version and keep the Xbox version on the store. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no reason for that. But they did it because they're EA, and they always do things that make no sense at all. But, yeah. If you
let me get your credit card and purchase the game. But shut up. It's all time noise 150. It's also time to come, so.
you don't have the game already, your best option is to get a physical copy on Xbox One. Even if you're a PC gamer and you want to have it on PC, there really is not a lot going on in 2026 when it comes to the PC version of Titanfall 1, because you can't really play through official servers due to the cheating problem that makes the game completely unplayable. Then you have the R1 Delta client, where apparently the creator of the client was the person responsible for the DDoS attacks and what made the servers for Titanfall 1 and 2 unplayable on PC. Like, this guy is crazy from everything I'm hearing, and as a result, most of the community is staying away from that client and just the PC version of TF1 as a whole.
But is there no story mode on this thing?
But, yeah, Xbox One is still alive and is still going, and that is your best option. There's also people that occasionally play on Xbox 360, but you're not going to consistently find matches over there due to lack of backwards compatibility, because you can't play the 360 version on modern Xbox consoles. And yeah, I mean, everyone's just would rather play the game that has better graphics, performance, and all that, which is the Xbox One version in comparison to 360. So, as far as how Titanfall 1 compares to Titanfall 2, they are very similar, as you would expect, but there are some differences. I'd say Titanfall 1 feels a little bit more gritty and tactical in comparison to Titanfall 2, which is more flashy and definitely has more emphasis on movement, even though Titanfall 1 is clearly a movement shooter as well, but Titanfall 2 takes that to the next level, and it's just overall, it feels like the pacing is a bit faster in TF2, especially when it comes to
I think so. In conclusion, TF2 is better.
The Titans. The Titans are a lot slower, heavier, and definitely have a more tactical feel in Titanfall 1, and I definitely prefer the way that the Titans are, the way that you play the Titans in Titanfall 1 compared to the second game. I love Titanfall 2, by the way. This isn't me trying to go negative on TF2. They're both amazing games, but there's a reason why you still have a small but dedicated player base for Titanfall 1, because it just has a different vibe, and there is some value in going back and playing it, while Titanfall 2, like, objectively is probably the better game to play, especially since it has a single-player campaign, and is actually probably the best in going back and playing it, while Titanfall 2, like, objectively is probably the better game to play, especially since it has a single-player campaign, and is actually considered one of the best FPS campaigns ever made, especially in recent years. You don't really have single-player in Titanfall 1, it's mostly just an online-only experience, and the one thing that does...
What's this then? Some guy made a full campaign video and it's 2 hours.
You are free to move around the simulation. For greater distance, jump while sprinting. Use wall running.
Still are 101 instead of R31. Full out.
Damage core online. Nuclear.
Give me a sit rep. Pilots.
All pilots secure hardpoints Alpha, Bravo and Charlie. The rest of you, on me. We gotta secure the hardpoints and neutralize all hostiles. Move out.
This is a hardpoint mission. That's Alpha under control, but I need access to Bravo and Charlie to get all the turrets online against the Red Eye.
Nothing in the corner. Okay.
There is no campaign in this game.
Pilot, you're approaching Bravo. Watch for hostiles. Pilots, the Red Eye's at 75.
Be ready in 15 seconds. Tighten up.
All units, we've got the upper hand for now, but it's a close fight. Don't let your guard down.
So waiting to make it threat. Line this.
Tragedy of
Titanfall 1 and its sequel, Titanfall 2. I think it'll be fun to look back at both of these games years after their launch. I recently reviewed both Titanfall 1 and 2, so make sure you check somewhere on the screen or in the description for that. Anyway, both of these games have had their ups and downs, and I don't think most people even think of Titanfall when it comes to a gaming series or franchise. So we're gonna compare both games with a point system of 5 rounds, and without taking too much longer, let's get into it. For the first round, we'll be looking at something that Titanfall does better than most other shooters. That is the gameplay and the movement. Starting with the pilot in Titanfall 1, you're able to move at a regular speed while being able to wall run to move even faster. I think not being able to slide like you can in Titanfall 2 makes for more stable and consistent gameplay. While in Titanfall 2, you can do this very effective slide which raises the skill ceiling, but also adds a more fun and fluent movement system. Both of these games just have good and satisfying gameplay. I think it mostly comes down to what you enjoy more. The faster, more chaotic, and high adrenaline gameplay of Titanfall 2, or the more stable and slightly more boots on the ground gameplay of Titanfall 1. I can personally see why someone would pick one over the other, but I think I'm gonna have to give the point to Titanfall 2. The smooth, fast-paced movement in Titanfall 2 can lead to very exciting and unique moments, not even to mention the grappling hook. But yeah, with its satisfying movement, I felt like I had to give the point to Titanfall. Have the pilot and the Titan. Titanfall is talking about how much the game is. Moving into round 3, we have customization. I feel like this is going to be the most simple and straightforward round. Last round, this round we have replayability. So with Titanfall 2 having more content than Titanfall 1, yeah, that definitely affects the replayability too. With more customization, there's more ways to play the game and things to unlock, and just reasons to play the game. This can also be one of those situations where, let's say you don't care about any of that extra stuff, maybe you just enjoy Titanfall 1 over the other because it just clicks with you more. Well, there's still one really important factor that can affect any good online game. That is the player base and the connections. I'm making this video in 2021, and it's no secret that Titanfall 1 is over 7 years old, and Titanfall 2 is about 5 years old. Neither of these games are new, but they aren't like really old, at least not yet. The connection and gameplay feels pretty good in both games, but obviously a little better in Titanfall 2. But let's say you like both games equally. Well then the big problem with Titanfall 1 is the current player base. This game is pretty dead after Titanfall 2 came out, and it can be pretty hard to find a lobby sometimes, and a few instances where the game was hacked and unplayable. Basically, this would be more fair if Titanfall 1 had more players, because both games are still fun, but Titanfall 2 just has more content, players, and not to mention a really good campaign. So, this point has to go to Titanfall.
Okay, I'll take it. Special promotion. $249, $224. I wonder which one I will be giving. Buy this multi-best 27. Game Critics Award Best Online Multiplayer. It was Best Online Multiplayer. What did Epic win? It's literally the same. Did it win? What? Best Game Research Award. Okay. The servers are lagging in Asia. Yeah. Ultimate Call will get update. Should I wait? No. No. I know that the Cyberpunk was lowest at this rate, because the lowest it was the game is 1,000 version price, 1,080. So yep, I'm repeating. I'm hearing myself.
Titanfall 2. Now, moving into the final round that we're pretty much just doing for fun at this point. If replayability isn't the most important thing to me, then it's the overall fun factor. This is just how much fun I have playing a game, and I guess considering the amount of time I put into each game. Now, I put about twice as much time into Titanfall 2 than Titanfall 1, and to make it even worse for Titanfall 1, I had to spend a little chunk of that time looking for lobbies, but I did have a lot of fun on both games. There's a lot of things to consider, like when both games came out, and the player base for each game, and the content, and many other things. But what I think it ultimately comes down to is the experience of each game when playing them today. I'm not talking about
I mean, I love Apex. Okay. I got like what 1,000 hours on the game. 951. Yeah, I really like the game. Space, space, space. Yeah, I think I will be purchasing offline. Bye bye.